Welcome back to Divine Dish, and today we're going to do some basic knife work. Knives are sharp. Well, they should be sharp. You don't want to use a dull knife for many reasons, most notably for safety to you, and because you'll have a very hard time cutting things. Using a knife should not be a struggle. As I will demonstrate, is an easy flowing process. When you let the knife do the work, it does things, it does so willingly, and it does very gracefully. So you want to let the knife do the job. You don't have to put all of your muscle into it, or even a fraction of your muscle into it. Surrender to the knife and allow it to do what it was created for. Using a knife is an extension of your hand, and it should feel comfortable and be held like a firm handshake. So this is a very sharp knife, and I will demonstrate on a couple of different ways that you can hold a knife that might feel comfortable to you, and a couple of different ways that of not tos on how to hold a knife. And using a knife is not, I repeat, not like riding a bull. It is not something you grab a hold of, close your eyes, and just hang on for dear life. It's an inanimate tool. You're in control of it. It's not going to flail all over the place, and have a mind of its own. This is a chef knife. The blade is rockered, so it supports a back and forth motion. And this is your basic utility knife in any kitchen. This is a diamond steel. So I'm holding the knife at about a 9 to 10 degree angle and running it along the diamond steel to freshen up the edge of the knife. You can do that multiple ways. As I'm demonstrating, what's important to note is that my hand is below the knife guard on the steel so that I don't cut myself, so that the blade doesn't, it'll hit that knife guard and won't, slice my hand. Because fingers are very useful. You'll appreciate them a lot more if you've had a few close calls. So take my word for it. This is what you would use to keep the edge of your knife sharp in between sharpenings, normally done on a whetstone. And that's a totally different video. Right now we're just focusing on the basics. And you just want to do this, you don't want to do this like 100 times. This is just to freshen up the edge of the knife, so maybe 5 to 7 times on each side. This is one way how not to hold a knife. My hand is, as you see, is all the way toward the butt of the handle, which gives me way less control over the knife. So you want to place the handle in your hand. Like I said, you want a firm handshake-like grip, relaxed enough where the knife isn't going to fly out of your hand, but firm enough where you aren't holding on to it like you're hanging from the edge of a cliff. I will often hold some knives like this. It's very comfortable for me, and it gives me a much better feel for the knife and for what I'm cutting. My hand is, as you'll see, is partially on the handle and partially pinching the actual blade of the knife. Different hand positions depend on what you're using the knife for and what feels comfortable for you. The point is to have not have the knife wobbling around side to side. Firm grip. Pay attention to what's going on, and you'll avoid any casualties. Now this is what you do with your other hand. As you see, using your knuckle to to guide the face of the knife while your fingertips are tucked under, provide you a cut-free environment. If you just have your hand kind of grasping onto the food, or your fingertips and hand may be exposed to the blade, so you definitely want to keep everything compact for safety and use your knuckle as a guide. Another safety tip you'll see here are these rubber feet on the bottom of the cutting board. They help the cutting board just stay in one place and not slide around. You definitely want to work from a stationary board to prevent things from sliding, because that can end up being dangerous. The solution, if you don't have rubber feet on the bottom of the cutting board, is to place a dampened rag or even a dampened paper towel. It will prevent slippage and allow you to still be able to count to 10 on your fingers. Depending, where you're at with math and counting, that can be quite helpful. I'm going to demo how to dice an onion. This is the root or the stem side of the onion, and we're going to leave that on, flip it around, and cut off the opposite end. We're going to place that opposite end, that flat end, on the cutting board and cut the onion in half right through the stem or root. Now you can easily peel off the skin, and you should have two halves of onion, both with the root intact on one end. Now we're going to make horizontal cuts into the onion, evenly spaced. And you're going to use your free hand to steady the onion as I'm demonstrating. And you want to make 3 horizontal cuts. If it's a bigger onion, maybe you make more. It all depends on how big the onion is. And you're going to now make vertical cuts, creating a grid pattern. Now you're going to want to get everything intact and proceed to chop perpendicular to the onion, creating uniform diced pieces of onion. So we're going to use this half to julienne the onion or slice it. Julienne is a French term, not important at the moment. So we're going to take the root side off and make smooth slices lengthwise down the onion. And this is where you can use your free hand to make that compact claw holding the onion in place while you slice through it, and still maintaining all of your digits. Here we're going to take a bulb of garlic, and we're just going to use our fingers to peel the skin away and separate it from the outside, exposing the cloves. And we're just going to take a couple of the cloves from the bulb. Then we're going to place the face of the knife on top of the clove of garlic, and with a flat hand, we're going to hit down on the face of the knife a couple times. And we're not trying to obliterate the garlic. It's just a few gentle taps to break the skin, and then you'll be able to peel the skin away from the clove, leaving you, as you see, with an intact clove of garlic that isn't completely demolished. And from there, you can sliver it or mince it, depending upon what you're using for. If you're going to mince it, you can obliterate the clove of garlic. If you're going to use it to slice, to sliver, you want the clove of garlic to be intact. And you see here, just basic fluid flowing motions to sliver. Basically, the tip of the knife is staying on the cutting board as the rest of the knife rocks back and forth in a fluid motion. And you don't have to go fast. You can go at your own pace, whatever feels comfortable for you and whatever feels safe to you. And those are just some of the very basic knife skills to build upon as you get more comfortable using a knife and cooking for yourself. So you don't need to go out and purchase a whole bunch of expensive knives. I do recommend having a chef knife and a steel and a serrated knife at the absolute bare minimum. They don't have to be costly. Choose what feels comfortable in your hand. There are a lot of different varieties of knives and brands, and it comes down to preferences and skill level on which knives you choose. And I do provide links on my website to a couple different, recommended knives and cutting boards and other different equipment that you could sort through. So go to my website and check that out. Also, click on the links below to sign up for my body, nutrition, and core confidence class. Improve how you feel about yourself. Boost your self-esteem and confidence. Learn how to best take care of yourself so you can, accept and appreciate who you really are. There are no limits to what you can achieve, but it starts with you and how you feel about yourself. So, this class will help heal your wounds around your body image, self-esteem, your appearance, self-confidence, your relationship to food and eating, and what you're feeding your body, what you're feeding your consciousness, and how you feel about yourself. Also, if there's something that you would like me to discuss or something you would like me to demonstrate in any upcoming videos, leave a comment down below or reach out to me on my website, and I would be happy to put a video together, and I will see you next time.